is really hard. Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time, and ashamed to have to admit it to Harry, especially.
In this video, we dive deep into the unsettling and often controversial aspects of Meghan Markle's past, specifically focusing on the details that have come to light through her public appearances and past relationships. From her early life in Hollywood to the personal revelations she shared with Oprah, there are several aspects of her past that continue to intrigue and disturb the public. Meghan Markle, who has been both adored and criticized for her roles as a royal and public figure, has a history that many are still trying to fully understand. The video will explore 10 disturbing facts about her past, shedding light on her personal life in ways that might surprise you. Some of these revelations challenge the carefully curated image of Meghan that we've come to know in recent years, offering a new perspective on her complex journey. No mention of her royal life. In With Love, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, plays a masterclass in subtlety, weaving her royal past into the narrative with the finesse of a woman who knows how to drop a hint without hitting you over the head with it. It's all in the before, during, and after, a phrase so loaded it could sink a ship, but Meghan keeps it buoyant, like a well-timed wink. The mention of Uncle Daniel as someone who's been in her life through all the phases feels less like a casual aside, and more like a soft whisper of a life once lived under the intense scrutiny of the British monarchy. It's a delicate dance of giving just enough information while expertly leaving the rest to your imagination. Then, in the finale, Meghan's quiche and salad moment with Alice Waters, where she says, "I've missed California," is equally loaded with understated flair. Sure, she's been living in California for years, but the way she says it makes you feel like she's been living on the moon, yearning for Earth. And while it's clearly not a cry for help, there's something inherently cheeky about how effortlessly she drops that little missed California bomb. It's not just about food, darling, it's about freedom. Lastly, the kintsugi moment with Vicky Tsai is peak Meghan, gravitating toward the metaphor of the broken but beautifully restored object. Her emotional response feels almost too poetic to be accidental, like she's speaking not just of ceramics but of herself. In one tier, the fractures are acknowledged, but with a soft, sassy reminder. Life may break us, but we don't have to stay broken. Meghan's got that power, and she knows it. Why she uses the last name, the ever-delightful Sussex, Meghan's royal accessory of choice. In With Love, Meghan, when she drops the whole "I'm Sussex now" bomb on Mindy Kaling, it's less of a casual remark and more of a soft power move wrapped in a humble bundle of familial pride. It's almost like saying, "I know you all still refer to me as Meghan Markle, but let's get with the program, shall we? I'm royalty adjacent now, and this is the name of my kingdom." Subtle, yet unmistakably clear, her response is dripping with that good old Meghan charm. The "No, I share my name with my children" bit sounds like a heartwarming declaration of love, but let's be real. The underlying message is a mix of "I'm officially detached from my old life, thank you very much, and watch me redefine this brand." She's making it clear that the royal Markle is no longer a fit for the refreshed post-monarchy Meghan, who now shares her identity with a certain royal family, her royal family, thank you. And of course, the emotional flourish about how meaningful the family name is. Classic Meghan. On one hand, it's a sweet, touching reflection of her new life in California with her family. But on the other, it's hard to ignore the subtext. I'm not just Meghan Markle anymore. It's not just a name, it's a statement, a symbol of a new chapter, a piece of the royal puzzle she's effortlessly putting together, one Jack-in-the-Box sandwich at a time. Meghan's mother told her to loosen up. Doria, the free spirit who danced around the house and told Meghan to loosen up. Because what every high-achieving future duchess needs is a mother advising her to let loose just a little more. Maybe if Meghan had relaxed just a touch more, she'd have avoided becoming one of the most photographed women on the planet. But no, Doria knew best. After all, what's a little royal drama when you've got loosen up and a girls' night in? Doria's advice sounds like the perfect cocktail of free-spirited wisdom mixed with, You're going to rule the world, but just like enjoy it too, okay? Of course, Doria might have been a bit more keep it together when it came to the domestic side of things. So, while she was telling Meghan to have fun, she was also reinforcing the whole keep it organized bit. Because why not strive for a perfect mix of free-spirited fun and domestic order? It's like being a royal and a Pinterest board at the same time. Then there's Tom, the father who, according to Meghan's close friend Nikki, was the more lenient one, the dad who allowed more space. Maybe he knew she'd need all the space she could get once she entered the limelight. He was the coach behind Meghan's star turn, the one who took those infamous photos of her on stage as a little girl. It's almost as though, from the start, Meghan was destined to center the stage, and the universe, or at least her parents, was only too happy to oblige. So, in hindsight, it seems like Doria's loosen up might have been more a suggestion than a strategy, because really, how else would you prepare a girl to be the center of attention for a global audience? She grew up on TV set. Meghan grew up on a television set, and not just any set, a sitcom that oozed sass and irreverence. The daughter of a lighting director and director of photography for Married with Children, she spent her after-school hours rubbing elbows with the kind of characters you'd never expect an 11-year-old Catholic schoolgirl to encounter. Sure, you'd expect to find her studying geometry or worrying about her next school play, but instead she was hanging out in a world where off-color humor was the norm, and craft services was probably the safest place to be. Her father, ever the protective parent, would send her to the craft services table when the set got a little too spicy for her young eyes, because nothing says childhood innocence quite like a Catholic school uniform and the wild antics of Al Bundy. But hey, growing up in Hollywood means you get a front-row seat to the absurdity of it all, and let's be real, Married with Children was as absurd as it gets. The juxtaposition of wholesome childhood moments and the sheer, unfiltered chaos of a sitcom set must have given Meghan a unique perspective on life, one that blends the surreal with the real and an appreciation for the limelight, even if it came with a side of awkward. Of course, Meghan would eventually trade in that schoolgirl uniform for a much more high-profile role, but not before getting a crash course in navigating the world of cameras, lights, and offbeat humor. So next time you catch her casually navigating royal life, just remember, she was probably learning the ropes from Married with Children. Who knew the future Duchess would be getting her stage training from one of TV's most irreverent shows? She was a boss since age 11. At 11 years old, Meghan Markle was already out here changing the world, one sexist ad at a time. Before she was the Duchess of Sussex, before she was markling her way through royal life, she was just a young girl looking at a Procter & Gamble ad and thinking, this isn't right. The ad claimed, women all over America are fighting greasy pots and pans, because apparently only women can struggle with kitchenware. It's almost quaint now, isn't it? But Meghan didn't just roll her eyes and move on. She took action, writing a letter to the company, and shockingly, they actually listened. Procter & Gamble, in a rare act of clarity, changed the ad to people all over America because, apparently both men and women can struggle with grease. This small change was more than just a tweak in marketing. It was Meghan's first taste of activism, and at 11 no less. She would later reflect that it was at that moment she realized the magnitude of my actions. The magnitude? She was 11, not launching a UN summit, but somehow she managed to kickstart her lifelong mission for equality, and this was just the beginning. Meghan didn't need a royal title or a large platform to start making waves. She started as a preteen fighting greasy dishes and somehow managed to make it about everyone. So next time someone asks where Meghan's activism comes from, remind them, she was literally changing corporate ad language before she was even old enough for a learner's permit. Talk about early practice for taking on the world. Trip to Africa. In 2019, Meghan, Harry, and little Archie went on a royal tour of southern Africa, hitting up South Africa, Malawi, Angola, and Botswana. It was like a royal version of The Lion King, except with less singing and more conservation talks. Africa naturally holds a special place in Harry's heart, following in the footsteps of his late mother, Princess Diana, with his deep commitment to conservation and community work. Meghan, never one to be outdone, added her own chapter to the story, having previously worked in Rwanda on World Vision Canada's Clean Water campaign. Clearly, both of them know how to make helping the world look good on a royal resume. Then there's their love story, which, plot twist, has a Botswana twist. The couple, who met on a blind date, bonded over a good old-fashioned camping trip in Botswana. Yes, camping, under the stars. Because nothing says true love like avoiding a royal bed in favor of sleeping on the ground, all while bonding over wildlife conservation and a mutual appreciation for starry skies. As Prince Harry casually put it, I managed to persuade her to come and join me. No pressure, but it's a trip that would later spark royal headlines and be immortalized as the ultimate bonding experience. Let's be real here. Most people don't spend their early dating days on an African camping trip. But for Harry and Meghan, it was an ideal start to a relationship built on adventure, conservation, and clearly, a lot of "I convinced her" moments. For the Sussexes, Africa is more than just a backdrop. It's where personal and royal passions collided under a very starry sky. Growing up biracial was difficult. Growing up biracial, Meghan Markle quickly discovered that the world doesn't always know what to do with someone who doesn't neatly fit into a box, literally and figuratively. Take, for instance, the school form where she had to select an ethnicity. The options? Only one. Choose wisely, it seemed to say. Meghan, not wanting to pick one half of herself over the other, just left it blank. Not out of rebellious defiance, but more out of sheer confusion. Because how exactly do you choose between two sides of yourself that are both undeniably part of who you are? It's like being asked to pick between your two favorite desserts? Impossible. Fast forward to her acting career, where the confusion continued. Meghan found herself stuck in a category no one quite knew how to label. She wasn't black enough for the black roles, and she wasn't white enough for the white ones. It's almost like she was too mixed for Hollywood's neatly compartmentalized casting system, where everything must fit into a clear, singular category. Can't win for losing, right? Eventually, Meghan embraced her unique background, finding peace in standing with one foot in each world. She came to terms with the gray area, because sometimes being in the middle means having the best of both sides, like getting to choose both desserts. It might have been a journey of confusion and frustration, but in the end she found her voice, her pride, and a sense of self as a strong, confident, mixed-race woman. And let's be honest, that's a pretty great thing to have on a royal resume. She did not life-big wedding. Meghan Markle's wedding to Prince Harry was a global spectacle, broadcasted to millions, featuring royal pageantry and a dress that still gives people wedding dress envy. But despite the grandeur, Meghan wanted it to feel intimate. Because nothing says close-knit quite like a wedding watched by an audience of billions, right? But hey, she was all about the personal touches. In her own words, as part of the 2019 audio guide for the exhibit A Royal Wedding, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, at the Palace of Holyrood House, she explained how they carefully selected details to make the event feel special, intimate even. Sure, the planning involved everything from an iconic dress to a military uniform, but Meghan's focus was on making choices that were meaningful. Like choosing the right flowers? Or was it more about adding personal nuances that, in her words, would make the whole experience feel intimate? Well, when your wedding includes everything from a royal procession to Princess Charlotte in an adorable bridesmaid dress, the concept of intimacy gets a little more nuanced. Let's face it, you can only make something feel so intimate when it's getting broadcasted to millions and displayed in a royal exhibit for all to see. But no worries, Meghan made it work. Intimacy achieved, sort of, in her own royal way. After all, it's not every day you get to make the most public event of your life feel like a cozy backyard ceremony with thousands of guests. Classic Meghan, always making the personal feel like it belongs on an exhibit for the world to see, but with a deeply personal touch, of course. Wannabe Diana. Meghan Markle, the self-proclaimed Princess Diana 2.0, certainly didn't shy away from the idea of stepping into the shoes of the iconic royal. According to Nikki, her close friend, Meghan found the royal family fascinating. And let's be real, it's hard not to be intrigued when you're watching the funeral of a woman who became a global icon in the blink of an eye. Meghan, who allegedly had Princess Diana's biography proudly displayed on her bookshelf, didn't just stop at reading about Diana, she immersed herself in her legacy. She watched Diana's 1981 wedding like it was a fairy tale and then, in true Meghan fashion, decided she wanted to be the modern version of that, minus the paparazzi-driven drama, at least in the beginning. In her quest to emulate Diana's humanitarian efforts, Meghan and a friend even went full Princess Diaries mode, collecting toys and clothes to distribute to underprivileged kids. Because what's more relatable than impersonating a beloved princess by gathering donations to be the next philanthropic sensation? Meghan's soft and sweet demeanor was paired with a hidden toughness, something that Diana herself mastered. Both women, as Nikki pointed out, were skilled in the art of negotiation, using their personal experiences and intuition to make things work in their favor, even when it seemed like the world wasn't on their side. And as Harry himself allegedly put it, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Let's be honest, Diana 2.0 may have taken a few cues from the original, but she's definitely carving her own path. Just with a bit more Instagram, she designed her engagement ring. Duchess Meghan's engagement ring, with its mix of a Botswana diamond and stones from Princess Diana's collection, was already a sparkling symbol of royal romance. But because one ring just wasn't enough, Meghan decided to give her bling a little redesign in 2019. Enter the new micropave band, a row of tiny diamonds, because who doesn't love a little extra sparkle on their finger? The subtle upgrade was noticed by eagle-eyed fans because apparently no piece of Meghan's jewelry goes unnoticed, especially when it's as glittery as the sun. Why the change, you ask? Maybe she just wanted to freshen things up, or perhaps she needed to resize the band due to a certain pregnancy. After all, those little things can affect the fit of a ring, even a royal one. But let's not overlook the fact that Meghan also wanted to match her new Eternity band, a token from Prince Harry to celebrate their first anniversary. Because nothing says I'm in love quite like having multiple rings, all designed to complement each other like a perfectly coordinated accessory lineup. And now, Meghan wears not one, not two, but 3 rings: the engagement ring, the Eternity band, and her Welsh gold wedding band, stacked together, a sparkling royal trio. It's almost as if Meghan is saying, "You think I'm married? I'll show you just how married I am." The jewelry may have changed, but one thing's for sure. The Duchess's finger is never lacking in the sparkle department. Every piece telling a story of love, family, and, let's face it, a touch of extra. Well, that wraps up our dive into Meghan Markle's past, revealing some of the more shocking facts. Whether you agree or not, it's clear her story is far from simple. What do you think? Did these details change your perspective on her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you want to see more deep dives into the royal world. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the latest updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.